Sometimes we have units raised to a power. If the unit is raised to a power, the conversion factor also has to be raised to a power. So let's look at our friends centimeters and inches. And if we're converting centimeters cubed to inches cubed, one way to do this is first ignore the exponent and just look at centimeters and inches. So if I want to get a relationship between centimeters and inches, centimeters equals inches, okay, it's not 1 to 1. 2.54 centimeters is equal to 1 inch. If I cube that, so I have cubic inches, I need to cube the entire thing. So I need to cube the number as well. .54 cubed centimeters is equal to 1 cubic inch. And that's because if we look at a cube, not my best cube. Let's say this is 1 inch on a side. Each side is 1 inch. What's the volume of it? Length times width times height. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 1 cubic inch. The volume of this cube equals 1 cubic inch. What if I measure the sides in centimeters instead? Well, then this is 2.54 centimeters. And this is 2.54 centimeters. And this is 2.54 centimeters. Then when we do volume equals length times width times height, we have the volume is 2.54 centimeters times 2.54 centimeters, so repetitive, times 2.54 centimeters. And so that is equal to 16.387064 cubic centimeters, not 2.54 cubic centimeters. When the unit gets cubed, the number in the conversion factor also gets cubed. So let's look at this a little bit more. Okay, an automobile engine has a displacement of 289.7 cubic inches. What is its displacement in cubic centimeters? So we'll approach this like any other unit conversion problem. We have to figure out what we're given and what we need to find out. This problem only has one number, so we probably need to start there. So this is our number. So we are given this volume in cubic inches, and what do they want us to find? Cubic centimeters. So in coming up with this path, first ignore the cube and figure out the relationship between inches and centimeters. Can I do that in one step? Yeah, we've done that before. If I can do inches to centimeters in one step, I can do inches cubed to centimeters cubed in one step. So 289.7 cubic inches. I'm going to start, though, by ignoring the cube. I have to bring it back later, but I'm going to ignore it for now. I've got one arrow. I have one conversion factor. I'm ignoring the cube. I've got inches to centimeters. I've got inches here. And I'm going to centimeters over here. And I want inches in the denominator. Well, the relationship is 1 inch to 2.54 centimeters. So I've got that all in place. Now I need to bring that cube, the exponent 3, back. This is inches cubed. To get inches cubed to cancel, I need to cube this whole thing. I can't cube part of it. I have to cube the whole thing. So that is going to be 2.54 cubed centimeters cubed per 1 cubed inches cubed. Because when you cube it, you cube everything inside. Any questions about that? Now, the cubic inches cancel with the cubic inches. What's 1 cubed? 1. So I really don't have to worry about that. It's just 1. So I've got 289.7 times the number 2.54 cubed. You can just multiply 3 times on your calculator. Many of you have a calculator that will do a cube. If you need help figuring that out, I'd be happy to show you either after class or in lab. So 289.7 times 2.54 raised to the 3rd power. And I get 4747.33241 cubic centimeters. How many significant figures should I have? I should have 4. Our starting number has 4. 2.54 centimeters to 1 inch is an exact quantity. You'll forget that. It'll mess you up. I will not try to trick you with that on an exam. I might do it by accident. That happens sometimes. So we should report this as 4747 cubic centimeters. Any questions? So quiet. Let's do another one. How many cubic inches are there in 3.25 cubic yards? Well, again, this problem only has one number, the cubic yards, and so that must be what we're going to start with. We're going to start with cubic yards, and then the question is how many cubic inches. That's what we're going to. So ignore the exponent. Do we know the relationship between yards and inches? Yell it out. We could go yards to feet to inches. I'd kind of rather not. 36. Thank you. There's 36 inches in a yard. So if I know the relationship between yards and inches, I can do the relationship between cubic yards and cubic inches. So 3.25. I'm going to leave the cube off for now. I had 1 conversion factor because there's 1 arrow. I want inches on the top. I want yards on the bottom. And then I'm going to put the numbers in. 36 inches is equal to 1 yard. That's exact. It's within the metric system. But I actually have yards cubed. So this is cubed. Now, does this cube the 3.25? No. Okay, it's really important to cube the numbers over here because we're cubing the whole conversion factor, but then a good portion of students get carried away and they start cubing everything in sight, and that's not good either. So to get this to cancel out, I need to cube this whole thing. Over here in 3.25 cubic yards, this 3 applies only to yard. It does not apply to the 3.25. What I'm doing here is I am applying the 3 to everything inside. So that's 36 cubed and inches cubed over 1 cubed and yards cubed. So I've got 3.25 times 36 cubed. I get a big number, 151,632 cubic inches. Is that reasonable? Is a cubic yard bigger or smaller than a cubic inch?
Bigger.
It's bigger. So there's a rule that can help you identify whether your answer makes sense. It's called the bigger, smaller rule, or at least that's what I call it. The bigger unit should have the smaller number. The smaller unit has the bigger number. So here we've got the large unit with the small number, small unit, big number. So we went in the right direction. That's comforting. What about sig figs? 3. 36 inches per yard is exact, so it's going to be 3. So I'm going to keep the 1, the 5, and the next 1. I need to be careful here. I am rounding to the nearest 1,000. That does not mean I'm going to change this into 152. So I'm rounding in the thousands place. So what I would encourage you to do is put this into scientific notation and then round it off, and you'll avoid getting a ridiculous answer. So this would be 1.51632 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to round it off there. So it's going to be 1.52 times 10 to the 5th cubic inches. Any questions?